What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I wanted to start with a small joke. So there was once a time when a pastor and a politician died, and so they went to heaven. And so they met Saint Peter, and Saint Peter did the necessary requirements, and so he introduced them, he signed them in, and so he brought them to, he told them, now I'm going to show you whereby you're supposed to stay. So he started with the priests, and so the priest was given a single room, place with a bed there, a chair, and a jiko there, and a gas cooker, and some few things to use, and a place to keep their clothes. And so the politician looked at this situation and akaona, now if the clergyman, if the pastor has been given this kazingo room, what about me, and I am a politician? And so Saint Peter took him and started showing him where he's supposed to stay. And to his surprise, it was a very huge mansion. And so the politician looked at Saint Peter and asked him, how is it that I, as a politician, am getting a mansion, and while this clergyman and this pastor is getting a kasingo room? And the Saint Peter told him, you see, you have to understand the situation here. We are receiving thousands and thousands and thousands of pastors, but you are the first politician to arrive here. So anyway, guys, I was meditating on the word. And I was meditating on so the thesis statement of my preaching today is going to be I am not who I could be, but I seek to become better by forgetting the past and focusing on the future. I will repeat. I am not who I could be, but I seek to become better by forgetting the past and focusing on the future. And I will be reading, you can read with me, I will be reading the book of Philippians 3. And so the first statement in the thesis statement says, I am not who I could be. What does it mean to say, I am not who I could be? Look at Philippians 3 chapter 12. It says, I do not claim, I'm reading the Good News Bible, I do not claim that I have already succeeded or I have already become perfect. I do not claim that I have already succeeded or I have already become perfect. Which means there is this feeling that bado hujafika. You still haven't reached. The Holy Bible says, it is not as if I have attained. Or it says, it is not as if I have attained. Or where it is that I am perfect. Right? It says, it is not as though I have attained or as I were already perfect. So there is this feeling that bado, uko bado. Somebody wrote a quote, somebody called Jordan Peterson, and he said, you are not who you could be and you know it. You are not who you could be and you know it. Right? That's why we always say that the biggest room for improvement is that the biggest room in the house is the room for improvement, because we are not who we could be. There is always room for improvement. We are not perfect. We are not good. Hatujafika bado. Right? And so he says there in verse 13, he says, of course, my brothers and sisters, I really do not think that I have already won it. So he does not think that he has won it. So there is that feeling that he's still wanting, that there is still room for improvement. There is still something that can be done. And so once you discover that statement, what is the next thing that you do? The second part of the thesis statement says, I am not who I could be, but I seek to become better. What does it mean to seek to become better? It is to strive. It is to strive to become better. He says very well in the second part of Philippians 3 chapter 12. He says, I keep striving to win the prize. I keep striving. The Message Bible says very well. The Message Bible tells us very well that it says, but I am on my way reaching out to Christ. Reaching out. What does it mean to reach out? To reach out. To reach out is to stretch. It is to try and achieve something that is out of your comfort zone. That's why he says, I keep striving. I keep striving to win the prize. What does it mean to strive? It is to reach for something that is beyond you. And so I am saying that you have to strive. Seek to become better. I don't know who said, but he says, in this life, we become better by seeking to become better. Seek to become better. Strive. Reach out. Reach out to something. Strive towards something. He says very well, I keep striving to win the prize. You have to strive. You have to strive for something. To strive means to get out of your comfort zone. If you are a musician, can you sing better? If you are a speaker, can you speak better? If you are a runner, can you run better? If you are a business person, can you do business better? If you are a person who is skilled in farming, can you farm better? Can you be better? Can you improve? Can you strive? Can you reach out? Right? And so he says, there are two forms of reaching out, right? I can reach out to reach for something, but I can also reach out to give you something. I can reach out to give you something. And so that is why the Message Bible says in the second part, it says, but I am on my way reaching out to Christ as he has so wondrously reached out to me. As he has so wondrously reached out to me, which means Christ is reaching out to me. He is giving unto you your goal. He is reaching out, giving it unto you. And it is your work to get out of your comfort zone and to reach for it, to strive to become better, to improve. That is why the second part of my thesis statement says, but I seek to become better. And the question is, how do I seek to become better? How do I seek to become better? By two ways. Let's read. It says, in verse 13, Philippians 3 verse 13, he says, the second part of verse 13, he says, however, he says, the one thing I do, listen, the one thing I do, which is this one thing, however, is to forget what is behind me. To forget, sahau yaliyopita. Forget what is behind you. Forget what is behind you. Somebody wrote a quote and said that you are a product of your past, but you shouldn't be a prisoner. You shouldn't be its prisoner. Yes, the past does influence who you are today, but it should not be a prisoner of who you are tomorrow. Forget the past. Leave the things of the past behind. That's why he says, the one thing I do, the one thing, however, is to forget what is behind me. To forget what is behind me. And what does it do? That's why the other part of my thesis statement says, better by forgetting the past and focusing on the future. Looking ahead. When a runner is running, when Eliud Kipchoge achieved the 42 kilometer mark within 2 hours, he did not look behind. He was looking ahead and asking himself, how many kilometers do I have to have covered? What is the next option? Which is the next step to carry? And that is the question that should be in your mind. Which is the next step? How can I move forward? There is a quote that usually says that the most important thing in this life is not where we are, but in what direction we are moving. What direction are you moving in? What direction are you moving in? Are you becoming better? Are you focusing on the future? And so my message today to you is, 1, know that you are not who you could be. You ought to have some improvement. You could tweak some places. You could change some places. Number 2, Seek to become better. Seek to become better. Seek to improve. 3. Forget the past. Sahau yaliyopita. Yaliyopita si ndwele, tugange yajayo. Forget the past. The past should only be a lesson, but it should not be a prison. And then focus on the future. Last thing, focus on the future. That's why he says very well in the verse 14, so I ran straight towards the goal. Run straight towards the goal. Forget the past and run to the future. If you like my content, please like and consider subscribing, and also share to other people so that they may get the message. And I pray that the Lord might bless you, that you may be able to understand His word, and that you may be able to live a godly life. Peace out.